Thanks very much for the introduction, and I'd like to congratulate Kerry on the great conference and the opportunity to speak here. I think she's done a great job. I think from what I see at some other conferences where we have back-to-back investor presentations, I think to being able to have a number of really very highly qualified people on these information sessions has been fantastic. So well done to the team. So a year ago I presented here, and it was sort of our first presentation since IPO the year before. And so for those of you that were here before, today will be a bit of an update. For those who weren't here, I'd like to give you a look at what the Maronan story is, and it's one that we're clearly excited about. We're at a gold conference, but we've got a silver story. We heard from Pedro just before in that lightning round about the Argent story. Ours is slightly different. We're based in Queensland, but silver is still the main thing that we're peddling here. And I think what we see with silver, that it's a combination of the precious metal and the store of wealth, but it's also a very widely used industrial mineral and metal, and particularly with the renewable energy and all the electrification. There are around about 2/3 of an ounce in every one of the small solar panels, and about 19% of all silver that's used is used in that area. So we've seen the World Silver Institute put out their annual report and showed for the last 2 years there's been a 200 million ounce deficit between what's been produced and what's been used for silver. That's been 2 years in a row, projected for this year as well. So the silver price, which we've seen rise quite significantly, you see on this chart, it's showing at about $23 at about a year ago. A few weeks ago we saw it reach 32, and I think it's just on 30 today. So it's moved very nicely, and it's something that we're certainly wedded to as a great commodity. Quick look at our corporate snapshot. We have a 3-member board. Simon Bird is a member of the board of Mount Gibson Iron. Rob Rutherford is our non-executive technical director, and he's the managing director of Red Metal, who formerly owned 100% of this project, and myself. We have Andrew Barker here that's you're able to talk with him at the booth. He's our exploration manager based in Cloncurry, so it's a very small team. We have 200 million shares on issue, and our top 20 shareholders rates at 70% ownership. 44% of that is Red Metal, who have diluted down from the 50% they had at IPO. So with the market cap currently at 46 million, like many of the others that have made presentations to you today, we believe it's well undervalued, and hopefully as we go through this, you'll be able to see why we think so. There's probably four points I probably want to make as to why you might invest in Maronan Metals. And one is the location we're in, and the next is the size. The third one is the amenable mining features to it, and then the fourth one is the progress we've made so far, and I think that's significant. So the first one there on the location, we're in the Northwest Minerals province of Queensland, and you can see all the mines that are up through here with the blue circle around them are lead mines with silver, and it's worth noting that 34% of the world's silver comes from lead mines. So we're right there in amongst some very significant producers. We're also in a mining-friendly region with close access to good roads, access to port. The town of Cloncurry and Mount Isa are certainly mining-friendly zones. I think we've got a tick in that box. The next one's the size. So we've got two 30 million tonne resources. There's an inferred resource of 32.5 million tonnes of copper gold, and we've got 30 million tonnes of silver lead. and I'll touch on that a little bit more. So 30 million tonnes, and what you can see with this diagram, I've overlain it over a map of Sydney to give you an idea of just the size of it. You'll see Hyde Park there which is about 800 metres long. It's just longer than that, and you'll see that it reaches to a depth of about 1,200 metres, which gets across down to Darling Harbour, where we're sitting now. To give you a bit of an idea on just that depth, this building that we're in here is 270 metres tall. So we're talking of sort of 4 times that is the depth of where we know the mineralisation is at Maronan. So I think we've got a tick there for size. The mining parameters, it's a steeply dipping mineralisation system with 4 separate zones that could be mined independently. 2 of them are silver lead that are separated enough to be able to be mined separately. Averaging in widths, probably the narrowest would be sort of 4 metres, which is about the height from floor to ceiling of this building, up to the width of about 20 metres, which is the full width of this room. Like, there's sizable resources, and there's plenty of silver lead in all that. The next one is so they're and it's steeply dipping, so it'll be favourable to mining. We see that the ground conditions and it should be pretty good as well. And then the final one is the progress that we've made so far. The significant step forward we've taken over the last year is that we completed our 17,000 metre drill program at the end of last year, and the reassessment of the resource, we're able to declare the first of the indicated level category of our resource. So to give you some familiarisation with that, it all started out as an inferred category, where the drill holes identifying the mineralisation were on average of 200 metres apart. So you can picture that quite a lot can happen in between those 200 metres. We've been able to, in an area close to the top of the mine, been able to narrow that drill spacing down to about 50 metres, and the great news was that we've been able to prove that the original modelling has stood up, and we've been able to declare the first bit of indicated resource. So this is the resource statement we put out, was the 32 million tonnes of silver lead, and you can see there the 2 million tonnes of the indicated resource at the 5% lead and 105 grams silver. And the zone that I was referring to, we're calling a starter zone. It's this box that's shown up here. It's a nominal, just a block that we've identified that we want to do our major work on. We're calling it a starter zone. If a mine is to be developed here, it could be done in this zone. 500 metres long, 600 metres deep. Again, if you think of the height of this building, 270 metres, it's double the height of this building, just this area that we feel we would be able to start a mine. This diagram here shows some conceptual mine development that's been done to sort of show how you would access this material. It's shown as 2 separate mines almost, because you'll see over on the right here, there's the copper gold, which is the red mineralisation, and you can see ghosted behind it there's some of brown, which was the original 2015 inferred resource, and with the drilling we did over the past year, we extended that to the red horizon. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the blue and the green show the 2 horizons of silver lead mineralisation. Now they're all accessed by the 1 decline, so in fact they've been split apart just to be able to, so you can see the same decline does access them, so they really all come together in reality. I want to just take you quickly through and the evolution of our drilling program, and the reason why we are building confidence very quickly that this resource is very strong. So this is a long section. A long section, for those of you that are not necessarily familiar with the terms, it's as if you're walking up to your house at the front and you're looking just at the front of your house. So we would call that a long section. I'll show you a cross section later, which is one where if you were standing on the end of your house and looking to the side, and they are the two sort of main things we use when we're looking at these models. So you can see the drilling that was in place in this starter zone it was that when we started, and after our drill program, 17,000 metres that we completed last year, we're able to get that sort of increased density, and you can see the indicated zone is this magenta polygon up here. We've got the around about 50 metre spacing on some of those holes, enough to be able to declare the first maiden indicated resource. So, and what you can see now here is the first few holes of this latest program in 2024 as we go to infill, and we've been able to announce just a couple of weeks ago the first of the assay results of that, which were certainly exceptional, and it included the highest grade of silver that's been drilled on this project before, and it was 1,520 grams to the tonne over just a 0.7 metre interval, but it was part of a wider 23 metre interval of 5% lead and 175 grams to the tonne silver. And that full width of the room is an intersection that much. So we are very pleased with how this has come along, and it's certainly proving up previous models. Here is this intersection we're talking about. I mentioned this cross section, so this is looking in the other direction, and you'll see all of these drill holes have been drilled since our IPO a couple of years ago. So that is how we've been building the confidence. It's consistent, it's thick, and it's good strong grades. The next one is the copper, which will be a bit later on in any mining schedule, because the fresh material is much deeper. But nonetheless, that's an exciting story for us as well, and will be a focus of future work. After we put out the resource information and upgrade in March, we released the first sited tests or original metallurgy on the project, which gave us the recoveries or projected recoveries that we're likely to expect with the silver lead and also the copper gold. So it was exciting to see that we're able to get good recoveries of the silver lead and also produce a very high grade concentrate material. Now it's limited testing, and we've got a significant amount of more metallurgical testing planned coming up. We also showed with some crushing grinding tests that the properties are very favourable, a classification of somewhere between soft and medium hardness. So we figure that will be very favourable for us in a cost for processing. Copper as well, there were good recoveries such that we could make a concentrate somewhere 25 to 27% copper, which is a very good saleable product. So that's where we're at with that. So finally, and just to wrap up, what our focus is going ahead and our sort of short-term news flow. Well, when we raised $9 million recently and restarted this drill program, we got a 7,000 to 10,000 metres target to drill. We look to improve the amount of indicated resource. We're assembling the costs to increase our confidence on the economics, and that's on all infrastructure. It's geotechnical, it's groundwater permitting. We've got stakeholder relationship work we're doing, and to progress any potential permitting. And we're also identifying some options to add value to the project in the near vicinity to where we are. And then finally, we want to keep on getting our story out there and building our sort of profile. Part of that is presenting at conferences such as this. We're booked in for Noosa at the end of the year, and we look to do more of it. So thank you for your time, and please come and see us at the booth if you want some more information.